What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome. And for all of my returning subscribers, hey. So it has been a very long time since I've came on here. I'm gonna have a seat real quick while we're in the shade, but I just wanted to give you guys a full garden tour. The last time we took a walk through my garden, it was a very quick it was a very quick video, and there have been a lot of changes since the last time you guys seen the garden. So I am going to take you guys through. I'm going to show you and try to share all of the varieties that I have planted. Some of them I remember, others not so much. Obviously everything is not fruiting yet. If you guys don't know, I am in zone 6A in central Ohio, so not everything is fruiting just yet, but I'll share with you guys what I know for a fact is what. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we are going to start in this back corner bed here. You guys were with me when I planted this baby up. As you can see, I have some things that I have pulled out and resown, but a lot of this stuff is still standing. So let's start on the side over here. So hopefully we can get our way around this actually. All right, so here we have our collard greens that we sowed back in the early spring. I told you guys I did pick these up from the garden store. So these are a tiger collard, and as you can see, they have gotten quite tall and pretty healthy. I haven't had too much bug damage. I have been spraying BT on them just to kind of, keep the worms away. You can see I still have a few bites here and there, but nothing has completely ravished them. On this corner here, I actually ended up sowing some cucamelons. They are doing good, and I do have a little nasturtium that decided to come up. At first, I planted this whole corner with nasturtiums, but as you can see, that's the only one that came up, but we'll have cucamelons real soon. Then here we have our scarlet kale, still doing really good. Again, this kale, I don't know, I found that the bugs don't even mess with these at all. So they're all doing really, really good. As you can see, very tall, happy. And then my Lucianato kale, I think is what it's called, or Tuscan kale, still doing really good. And as for the Swiss chard, you can see they're not super lush and thick like I hoped them to be. I actually have a little critter that has been enjoying them way more than I have. He actually pulled out a whole plant. I believe I had 4 here before, but I still have 3 that are still standing. Like I said, I have a little critter that likes to come in and grab little bites, which he is free to do because all the rest of my greens are just fine. I think it's a bunny rabbit. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, all of those are looking good and happy. And then here in this spot that used to be all of my lettuces and bok choys, I pulled all of that stuff out once it went to seed, and I re-sowed this area with rutabagas. They are coming in nicely. And then I also have a small patch here. You can kind of see the germination was really spotty on it, but you can kind of see them here and there. I have some red and golden beets, and then I just sowed a spot down the middle here of turnip greens. I probably won't grow them for the bulbs because honestly I don't know that I like turnips, but I will definitely eat them for the greens. And then in this full section here, I just sowed all of my carrots. It's a nice cool section here, so I feel like it should be fine as far as it not bolting. So we shall see. All right, next we are in the bed that I shared with you guys when I sowed all of my onions. You see them all leaning over, looking crazy over there, but we'll just start over here at the edge here. All right, so along this trellis situation that I have going on here, I have some asparagus beans. I need to figure out something else because eventually these will completely overgrow this spot, but we'll see. For now, they're doing pretty good. I got a couple of little guys growing here. All right, before I was rudely interrupted by my crazy dogs, I was showing you guys. I've got some beans. I got some beans. These are called asparagus beans, but they're also known as like Chinese noodle beans, and they are the green variety. Over here, I want to show you guys how beautiful. This is one plant, you guys. And I seen on Whispering Willow Farms that you can trim or top these. So as you can see, this is one stem that's down here, and I cut it right here, and it has split off and is just like glorious. I absolutely love these so much. They're doing so fabulous. Look, little bumblebee, work, go, do your thing. All right, and as far as, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like, the sun is beating right now, y'all. So here are how my onions are doing. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm slightly disappointed. I hope that they would get much bigger, especially the red onions. Look how itty bitty. Like, this is probably my biggest. So this is probably my biggest red onion, but the rest of them are just like super puny, like really, really sad. So yeah, I got the red candy from Dixondale Farms, and it could be my soil, I don't know, but just didn't do so good. So I have the yellow candies, which these are definitely the bigger onions. Let me see if I can get a, so these are definitely the bigger ones that I have going on here. Obviously they're not done growing, but then I also have some Walla Wallas, which I hope that these will get bigger too, but maybe they just need a little bit more time. I don't know, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated once I do like a full harvest. All right, so moving over here on this trellis, you guys know that I typically put some cucumbers. No, you guys don't. Typically I put cucumbers on this trellis whenever I don't have peas. I started some seeds here. They didn't all end up germinating, actually just the two over here did, and then I ended up buying this guy from Lowe's, and he is doing a sad, pitiful job right now, but hopefully we will get some pickling cucumbers from that. But these two over here, I believe both of them are the Silver Slicer, and I do have a pickle, or not a pickle, but a cucumber. There he is. There he is. So it's doing fantastic. The leaves are all really healthy so far, doing really good. In back of this trellis, I have a few pots. I have 2 blueberry bushes, and then this guy is a blackberry. The blackberry, this is the first year that it is fruiting, and it is doing an amazing job. My blueberries are still pretty sad. I feel like I need to get a specific fertilizer for them to get, you know, more blueberry production. And then in addition to that, I am losing a lot of berries to some birds. I had some really nice thick guys up here, and as you can see, they have been going to work. Very much rude. All right, and then in the same bed we have my okra plants here. I sowed a couple of different types. I sowed the heavy hitter in the Red Hill Country. I don't know which one is which, to be honest, because the first round of seeds that I put down, I didn't get good germination, but So I ended up going back in with some heavy hitters. So I don't know which one is which. The leaves all look really similar. So as far as I'm concerned, they could all be the same. Who knows? We shall see once I start getting production. And then next to those, we have our squash plants. I have 2 here. Again, with the varieties, I have no idea. I know that I direct sowed a couple of different rounds, but my issue is I have some greedy squirrels out here that like digging stuff up and moving things around. And so like my germination on a lot of stuff that I direct sowed, like the okras and the squashes, were kind of raggedy, only because my seeds kept getting moved around and dug up and etc, etc. I think I need to come up with some sort of system to make sure that nobody can dig up in there, but whatever. But as you can see, they're looking really healthy and happy and things, and I'll be happy with whatever kind of squash I get, to be honest. So, and this is the first year that I'm staking them, just because the last few years that I grew squash, I just kind of let them lay off to the side, and I found that I had a lot of powdery mildew. So I think I'm going to do a better job this year at staking them, and then just cutting off the lower leaves as they get larger. That way they can just climb up these stakes. You guys, it's hot as hell. And well, so I want to apologize now because this is not the first time that I'm using this gimbal, but I'm trying to get used to using it. But it's kind of hard to get used to things when you're not filming as much as you used to. So pardon me if some of the shots seem like, you know, like I'm taking a little bit of time to get focused. Excuse that. So anyways, back to the tour. All right, now on to my full sun beds. These beds, this one and the one on the other side over here, this is where the magic happens. So to start, you guys know I keep some comfrey going in this bed. I used to have it all the way across this edge over here, but I found that it was completely unnecessary. As you can see, this plant gets really, really big, so I left just one clump in the corner. That way I can come in, chop it back. I'll be making comfrey tea for fertilizer this year. I wanted to try that out. Last year I used the comfrey leaves to dehydrate to make salves and things like that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that works out well for me. But in replacement of more comfrey, I went on ahead and I put in my ground cherries. These are the Aunt Molly's here. And as you can see, these babies are loaded down with fruit. This morning, I actually ate my first, oh look, I've got another one. My first ground, well, where'd he go? Okay, here he is. So this will be my second. Tastes like summer, tastes like summer. All right, and now we have all of our peppers. So like I was saying, I really don't know all of the varieties. Some of them I know for sure. So the variegated babies here, oh, and here. All 3 of these are fish peppers. I know that to be a fact because of the variegation in the leaves, and I did harvest a round of peppers already off of this one specifically. And then this guy, I want to say could be a jalapeno, maybe, I don't know. Then the one behind it there is a Shiseido pepper, and I only know that because I actually bought this one. I did not start this one from seed, but we've got a couple of peppers on there. Again, unknown pepper. Some of these I put 2 in the hole just to kind of maximize my space. This one, maybe this one is a jalapeno. Yeah, this is a jalapeno. jalapeno, like I said, fish pepper, and then these 3 back here are all California Wonder. I know that to be a fact because I bought those. The tall guy here is a Cubanelle. I bought that one from Home Depot because I just wanted to try it out. And again, ooh, hopefully you guys can see. This one is an unknown as well. Have no pepper production on there yet. And then this guy is a chocolate beauty, and I know that because I bought it. And then the rest of this bed was garlic before. If you guys have been to my channel, then you've seen that. And I just went on ahead and put a mass planting of green beans because I want to get a good green bean harvest. I have always just sowed, like, you know, a handful of beans at a time, but I want enough to make a whole pot full. So we're at the point where we're not quite flowering yet, but they look really beautiful and healthy. Yum. And these were all the variety. I think I did Blue Lake for half of them, and then Burpee's Stringless green bean, I believe, is the other half. So yeah, hopefully they're both pretty good. They're growing in nicely. All right, and finally, the tomatoes. So starting off in the front here, a lot of these I started from seed, but a lot of these I bought too. So these 3 up in the front here, this one is an Amish paste. As you can see, I have some tomatoes on there already, looking happy. He's not very tall. I probably could have allowed it to, you know, get some good root production before I allowed it to fruit, but I want some fruit, so I let it do its thing. Over here I have a black cherry tomato. As you can see, we are loaded down and we have plenty of buds. This one is growing nicely. Cherry varieties usually do really good. I also put some flowers in all of my beds. You'll notice I've been trying to put in more flowers. So I have some sunflowers, some more zinnias. Again, I don't know all the varieties, but I do have a little volunteer ground cherry right here, and I might pop it up and put it in pop it out and put it in a planter. We'll see what happens. And then of course I just have some marigolds as well as some basil. And then here we have a sun sugar. This one I might end up pulling out. It's just not doing really well. It's super small in comparison to the rest of my tomatoes. And so far I only have a little bit of fruit. So I might just pull this one out and, you know, do something with the few little tomatoes that are there. But what we have behind here, so I am trying my hand at some eggplant again. I grew eggplant the very first year that I gardened in these raised beds, and then after that I just kind of sucked. So I'm trying it again. I have some fairy tale eggplant here. As you can see, I have a couple of fruits, some nice blooms going there, and then over there, then we have a pinstriped. We have a pinstripe eggplant back here. No fruit yet, but it's doing really well at first. So tell me if you guys struggle with growing eggplant. Here in my zone 6A, I really have a hard time with them. It seems like at the beginning, the very beginning of this season, when I first put them out, they suffer a lot from flea beetles. And then they just kind of subside, but they never get very big. So if you guys have tips for how to grow really good eggplant, definitely leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. All right, so moving on, we have my Kellogg's breakfast here. No fruit just yet, but it is doing pretty good. We have some nice blooms on there. Sizable, not huge, but doing good. And then right next to it, I have my Cherokee Purple. Now, The story with this guy, I went a little crazy when I was pulling my suckers off, and I believe that I topped my plant. But no worries, because we have a little sucker growing in there. So I am going to let that one flourish and let that be the lead. But as you can see, I do have a fruit growing here, so not all is lost. Then here we have a Creole. Now these two plants always have a hard time growing. I don't know why. I do have a, oh looky there, happy birthday bud. It's the first time I've seen that. So I guess we're not doing so bad. Really good foliage on this tomato specifically, but I never got a lot of fruit off of it. So I don't know. If you guys have grown this, let me know if you have the same issue. Then right next to it is the Rutgers. As you can see, this guy is leading in height for sure. However, it was suffering from a lot of blight, so that's why it doesn't have a lot of its leaves on it. I pulled most of them off, and as you can see, look, still have some disease on it. I don't know if these are just prone to disease. I don't know if like maybe this bed is just a little too crowded for it. I don't know. But we do have a little bit of fruit production happening. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I'm actually gonna let this sucker grow as well and start letting, 2 liters do its thing. And then you guys see and feel the vibes. The sage, the borage, the lavender, baby. This is a pollinator's dream. So I absolutely love this little combination here. It brings all the pollinators, which makes my tomatoes very happy. Then this one here is my Black Beauty. This one always starts off a little bit slower. It's one of my favorites because once it gets going, a ton of tomatoes, you guys, and nice sized tomatoes at that. So there goes that baby. We're gonna go this way. I have some bee balm going in this little obelisk here. And then I have this fabric pot with just some more cherries. I ended up having to buy my, this guy here. This is I ended up having to purchase this from the store, but this is a pear tomato. I don't know, it's like really squatty, so I just decided not to do any sort of pruning on it. I'm gonna just let it do what it does and get as many tomatoes as I can out of it. And then I have another Sun Gold here, which is another reason why I'm gonna pull the other one out, because we have this guy and he's thriving. As you can see, he's happy. And then lastly, we have some more lavender, and then this is a Sweetheart tomato. This was new in the Baker Creek catalog this year. As you can see, it has those heart-shaped fruits. Let me see if I can, there we go. Has those heart-shaped fruits. Super prolific so far. Like, look at how many clusters of fruit that there can be. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get a whole lot of cherries from this guy. I'm really excited to try it out. And then I have my 2 sorrel plants and a random dill plant. This guy's self-seeded, so he's having a good time. And then I do have some more dill down here, so when my cucumbers are ready to go, it can be done. And then lastly, almost forgot you. How did I do that? My Dr. White Cheese. This is my first year being able to get my hands on this variety. As you can see, it already has a nice sized little guy on there. So I'm super excited to try it out. It's not very tall yet, but I'm sure he'll do great. And then I do have another borage here. I might let this one live. I don't know. It was volunteer. These guys seed themselves everywhere. So that is the completed garden tour. I hope that you all enjoyed watching, seeing all of the different varieties that I have going on in here. If you guys do have suggestions as far as that eggplant is concerned, I will really appreciate the tips. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. I thank you all so much for stopping by today. Hope that you all enjoyed, but it's getting hot, so it's time for me to go. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. Until the next time, peace out.